What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to their PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Bandai Namco has confirmed new Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 DLC for this fall, and they also teased a brand new free update. So Bandai Namco remains invested in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. As we found out with the latest issue of V-Jump, new DLC is in development. Bandai Namco has confirmed that the content is coming to the West this fall, and a free update is being planned. We do know that Deborah and Boo, with Gohan absorbed, are headlining as playable characters via DLC. Zamasu will also be around to teach credited characters his attacks as a master/mentor. There's also some brand new screenshots of this DLC as well, and this comes from official Bandai Namco PR. And yeah, man, this is actually really cool that they're going to be releasing this DLC. Now, there's been a lot of people who finally got their hands on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 over here in the West, and it is a really different type of game that we have seen before. It's almost like you kind of go into this area, you have a bunch of different people that are also online, you can tackle missions with them, you can go into the solo mode. There's a lot of different online modes in the game, so it's actually really cool for Nintendo fans. Obviously, it's missing a few different things from the PS4 and Xbox One release as far as online features go, but overall, it's still a pretty solid game, and I think that it plays really well on the Nintendo Switch, especially considering how big this game is. There is a ton of content in the game. I was watching my boy Coloco play on his channel. Make sure you check him out. He's on our main page. But yeah, man, I was watching him play the game, and it seemed like there was just a lot of stuff. You can create your own character, you can kind of get into your own Xenoverse, I should say, and you can just fight and have a lot of fun, especially if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan and if you like the 3D fighters. It's not too hard to really just pick up and start playing, but then again, there are some interesting systems in there that get you kind of thinking, how am I going to attack? When am I going to use my Ki Blast? So it's actually pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to getting my own copy as well. Once again, shout outs to Coloco on that, man. So what do you guys think about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 DLC coming? As far as Boo, Gohan absorbed, I actually like Boo, Gohan absorbed. Not the fact that Gohan got absorbed, but like when Boo absorbed Gohan, he was like so much more powerful and like intelligent, so it was pretty cool. Deborah is also coming as well, man, so that was a pretty cool arc. Lasted a bit too long when it comes to the vanilla Dragon Ball Z experience, but still, it was a pretty cool arc as far as the DBZ saga. So let me know what you guys think about all this DLC coming and the continued support of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And did you pick up Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Golf Story launches on September 28th. Finally, we have a release date. So the pixelated golf adventure continues. Sidebar Games developed golf adventure game Golf Story will launch for the Nintendo Switch in North America and Europe on September 28th. That is this week, Ninja. Nintendo has announced the European release date comes via the Nintendo eShop. Here's an overview of the game via Sidebar Games. Golf Story combines the sheer excitement of golf with a serious story that plays out over 8 different courses. Play the story of a golfer who is forced to give up all that he holds dear for one last shot at accomplishing his dreams. But all is not so simple in the world of golf. To best today's players, you have to be able to keep up with them both on and off the course. Here are the key features. Tee up anywhere. You'll be surprised by how many problems can be solved by hitting a golf ball at them. Explore 8 unique environments, each with their own courses, challenges, people, and secrets. Play through a dynamic story with a diverse cast of characters. So this is a very interesting game. Nintendo also highlighted it at their Nindies Direct and all of that. But yeah, apparently it's supposed to be some type of venture. You kind of talk to people, do side quests, also while playing golf and using that as like the driving force, pardon the pun, as far as what you're going to do in this game. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. I definitely want to watch some other people play, get their reactions before I decide like what to think about this game. Because I've never thought of a golf game like that. There hasn't been any golf games that I know of that have some type of story or anything like that. Like, I've played Tiger Woods, which was fun back in the day. I played Tiger Woods on the PS2 and the GameCube, played it on the Xbox, and thought it was really good, but it was just Tiger Woods. You just go there, you pick the courses, and then you play. You pick a pro, and then that's that. There was no story to it. There was no anything like that. I mean, you can go through like the PGA Tour or something like that, but there was never any real story to it since you were already playing as millionaire pros. So it's interesting to see that this game is taking that route. And I know like Mario Golf, that's never really had too much of like a story. But I think maybe they did that before with one of the GBA Mario games. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe. I'm thinking there was some type of RPG Mario. But anyway, Yeah, man, what do you guys think about Golf Story coming to Nintendo Switch? I think it's really cool because this is a different type of game, and Nintendo Switch is continuously getting a lot of big games and smaller games as well. So will you guys be picking up Golf Story on September 28th? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here, we have a little bit of a discussion when it comes to this whole PlayStation Vita 2 or hybrid device that was rumored a bit ago but didn't show up at Tokyo Game Show. So there's actually a little bit more to this, and the PlayStation boss sees limited potential for handheld gaming. Now this is coming straight from PlayStation boss, or one of the PlayStation bosses, Andrew House. So let's get into this article here. So Sony Corp's gaming chief Andrew House sees limited global potential for handheld gaming in the age of smartphones, saying the company doesn't have any concrete plans to take on Nintendo's Nintendo Switch device. Quote, the Nintendo device is a hybrid device that's a different approach and strategy, House said in an interview at last week's Tokyo Game Show. We have not seen that as being a huge market opportunity, he said, referring to handheld gaming outside of Japan and Asia, where Sony still sells the Vita portable device. So let's talk about this a little bit, guys, because it's very interesting what Mr. House has to say on the matter, and I want to talk about it. And here's the thing, guys. For Sony, there is very limited appeal. He is 100% right, because yes, they had the PSP that sold over 80 million units, but the software sales were atrocious for that system. They really were atrocious. Sony didn't make a ton of money off of the PSP, and a lot of people who bought the PSP just hacked it to play Nintendo ROMs and other games. Let's just be real about that. So when the PS Vita came out, yeah, nobody was having that, especially because it had the proprietary memory and it just had so many issues. People did not want to spend that type of money, especially if you couldn't hack it to play Pokemon on there or something. So I can see where Sony is coming from when they say that, hey, there's limited appeal. From their own business standpoint, there really isn't much of a reason to do so, because if you think about it this way, guys, let's say they come up with some brand new portable device or something like that, and it would have to be obviously stronger than the Nintendo Switch or whatever the case is, then that would almost like hinder their own sales, right? Because you couldn't have it to where it's just a dedicated portable. If it was just a dedicated portable and doesn't hook up to your TV and can't play your library of games that you already have, I don't see a ton of Sony fans rushing out there to buy this thing, you know what I'm saying, if it didn't do all those, if it wasn't a portable PS4 essentially. So you'd have a whole nother system that's probably going to be $300 plus, and you can't play those own games and they're completely new games. To me, it's almost splitting your market, or it just doesn't make sense based on how the PS Vita sold. So that's the one thing that I do want to say. However, he could be lying. Obviously, you don't want to tip your hand to the press, so he could easily be lying, but I just don't know. Now, when it comes to Andrew House, I haven't seen him lie or just flat out lie too many times. Usually he's pretty frank, like with things, especially concerning like the PS Vita and also the, what was it, the PS3, as far as how they did last generation and stuff. So I'm not sure if he would, but that is a possibility, guys. I don't want to sit here and act like it's not a possibility that he isn't lying or holding back some information or playing coy or whatever the case is. But yes, going up against Nintendo as far as in this space, I'm not sure if that would be a good idea. And like I said, they already have the PlayStation 4. I've said this before so many times. Why cut into that? Why cut into what you're doing so well? You have the PS4 Pro and you have the PlayStation 4, and you're selling those at such a fast rate. They're also doing smartphone gaming. They're doing other things as well. They're doing PlayStation VR. That is a lot of money that you're asking people to invest into just with a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR, and then also they charge more for their online. So you're asking for $60 a year, then you're asking for people to buy a PlayStation VR, then you're asking for people to buy your 4K TVs or to buy a 4K TV to take advantage of your PlayStation VR and take advantage of your PlayStation 4 Pros. That is just a lot of products that they're already trying to sell, and adding in another portable device that you're not even sure if it's going to be successful or not because you haven't had much success with your last device. That would be difficult. That would be very difficult and a hard sell for many people. Now, there's going to be those hardcore PlayStation fans that rush out there and buy it. But one thing that Nintendo has shown over the years is that they own the dedicated portable space. Nintendo has been absolutely phenomenal with all of their main portables dating back to the Game Boy, selling over 118 million. And then you had the Game Boy Advance selling over 80 million. And then you had the Nintendo DS selling well over 150 million. And then you had the Nintendo 3DS selling over, what, 68 million at this point? 67, 68 million, and still going, and still selling a lot each week worldwide. So that's the one thing that I would say to Sony, is that it might be better for them to just kind of do what you're doing well, sell your VR machines, sell your online, sell your PS4, sell your PS4 Pro, get ready for the PS5, because we all know that's going to be coming within the next 3 years or so. Obviously, that's going to be coming, and it's probably going to be a true 4K machine to where it can output these amazing visuals and all of that. So I think that's where Sony goes strong at. That's where they're at their best, because if you look at their software and you shrink it down to the small screen, while some people might like that, some people like the big cinematics and just playing it on their TV, from what I've seen from a Sony perspective, whereas Nintendo's experiences transfer much better over to whether it's a small screen and you're playing handheld or you're playing on the big TV. So I guess that's why a hybrid device just makes more sense for Nintendo, because of the style of games that they create compared to what Sony's creating, which is more in tune for the big TV and sitting there and making it seem like a movie or whatever the case is. Like I said before, this still could be a little bit of a, oh, well, we're not trying anything, you know, and then catch you off guard. But at the same time, I just don't see the business opportunity for Sony. And just like Andrew House said, he said that there's limited appeal outside of the Japan, Asia market. For Sony, yes. For Sony, yes. For Nintendo, no. Obviously, there's huge potential because the Nintendo Switch is doing a lot. But for Sony, I just don't see it. And then on top of that, actually making the device. That's another thing that you have to put into there. Actually making a device that would one-up the Nintendo Switch with the graphics and how you have to shrink everything down for what Sony likes to do. It would be an expensive device. Just plain and simple, it would be expensive, and it would be tough as far as battery life, as far as the type of games, like what type of media are you using, you know what I'm saying? And then like I said, PlayStation 4 owners would want somehow to play PlayStation 4 games portably, and it would just be tough because you can't have a Blu-ray disc spinning in there. I mean, they tried UMDs in there and it was a failure with the PSP. They went back to cartridge media. So it's just really tough putting together all the different pieces that you need. Nintendo was able to do it, but that's because Nintendo has decades of experience in the portable handheld market and decades of experience in the console market, and what their gamers want when it comes to a console game and what their gamers want when it comes to a portable game. And they pretty much said, hey, we kind of make some that are hybrid anyway. Let's really do this. It's not out of the question that Sony could bring something to the market, but based on what Andrew House is saying here, it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything anytime soon. So what do you guys think about Mr. Andrew House's words here when it comes to Sony pretty much staying out of the dedicated handheld market or having a direct competitor to Nintendo Switch anytime soon? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered in to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.